All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for another installment of Split Decision, your weekly MMA podcast, brought to you live from the Rudloff Family Inc. studios. Bueller and Dodge on the mics, and of course you can catch us online on our Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Get us on iTunes, subscribe, you'll never miss an episode, in our official website, which is splitdecisionmma.com. Got to find us on Facebook, shoot us a like, that's Split Decision MMA Podcast, also on Twitter and Instagram, SD_MMA. Got to break down the UFC that just happened recently, as well as go over some mixed martial arts news, and it looks like we are kicking it off with a new signing for the UFC.
Yeah, the UFC signed the first ever gold medalist in recent times. Now, remember, Ronda Rousey did not get a gold medal.
She got a bronze, right?
Bronze.
Right.
Daniel Cormier did not get a gold medal.
Did he get a medal?
I don't remember.
Google.
I don't think he medaled.
I don't think he medaled, but I know he participated in the Olympics. So the first ever in a very long time. I think the only other one was Kevin Jackson.
Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle's never been in UFC.
We can hope.
Dude,
He was in Warrior.
he was in Sharktopus. No, Shark. What is it?
Sharknado?
Sharknado.
I think he was in Sharknado 2.
Yes,
We
because
can,
he was.
we can
yeah.
still hope for Kurt
It
Angle.
just
to show up in
happened.
the UFC.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we can hope.
So this is Henry Cejudo. He was supposed to fight at Legacy FC 34. He has now been signed with the UFC. He's going to be going up against Scott Jorgensen. I really hope Scott Jorgensen can pull this through. Otherwise, I think he's gone.
Yeah, he probably will
He
be.
hasn't been doing too well lately. He's 4-5 in the UFC. He started out, obviously doing very well in WEC. Since he's come over to the UFC, he has not done quite as well.
But we always root for him. No, this guy, Henry, is what's his MMA record?
6-0.
Oh, well, that's going to be a lot of trouble for Scotty.
Scotty's 15-9
But
overall.
he's 4-5 right now in the UFC.
Yeah. So this will be going.
He's got almost as many losses as the other guy has fights.
So hopefully
and wins.
we'll be able to go see this. This is going to be going down UFC 177, August 30th
August 30th.
in Sacramento.
To my calendar.
It's in your calendar.
Yes. I swear, when I first read this story, for some reason, the headline before I saw the last name, I thought it was the world strongman Mark Henry from WWE.
Dude, he would destroy people. I would be afraid. His cardio, with WWE is obviously enough to go through 15-minute matches.
He'd have to be super heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely
He'd
have to be super heavyweight.
Oh, well. We can still...
That guy's feats of strength are absolutely amazing. He set so many world records. Mark Henry? Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he actually quit WWE to go be in World's Strongest Man, won the World's Strongest Man after doing no training. Was the only guy to
It
go...
was just a walk-on?
Well, he was an Olympic, freestyle powerlifter before that, but still, yeah, it was a walk-on World's Strongest Man, won World's Strongest Man, and then quit. I was like, cool, thanks, I just want to see if I can do it.
Went back to eating Twinkies.
Yeah, going back to WWE. Well, now I can say I'm the World's Strongest Man.
Why not? I love that title.
New gimmick. So, Raylick Gracie was recently on Access TV's Inside MMA with Boss Room Kenny Rice, and he was talking about how come they're still going to allow Chael Sonnen to be participating at Metamoris 4. He basically said that, regardless of his PED use, that because there is no striking in Metamoris, that there have to be safe to say that he's not likely to be risky towards Gavaleo's health, his opponent. How do you feel about him still being able to compete in this event?
Well, Metamoris doesn't test, right?
No, it doesn't test.
Well, then who cares?
But it's also only a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Right. He's a wrestler he's a grappler going into a jiu-jitsu tournament in an organization that doesn't test. So as far as we know, everybody's on something there. So this isn't even IBJJF sanctioned then, is it? The Metamoris thing? Because IBJJF is now testing.
No, really?
Yeah.
They've admitted that this is more of an exhibition thing. Mm-hmm. They try to set up big names. It's exhibition.
Yeah, the IBJJF just released their testing
Which
requirements now.
I've been saying we should do for MMA. They should let these guys come in, steroid it out.
Just like Pride?
Yeah, it's exhibition.
Can't take coke, can't take heroin, can't take pot, but you know what? As many steroids as you want, go for it.
Because you get all the fun out of it.
Because like when you're watching the fights and you hear that music, you know that you're going to see a fight that came on earlier. It's that weird music. When everything gets slow, they should do that shit. You hear the weird music, and here comes some mutated motherfucker who's roided out, and another guy's got 3 fucking arms, and he comes in, and they just battle royale. I picture the old muscle men.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They got the one that's like part brick. Exactly. Got a mohawk. The other guy's got a drill for a hand.
Yeah, when we hit the Mad Max era, that's going to happen. Thunderdome will happen at some point. Believe me. If you watch Sharknado 2, Tara Reid with a chainsaw put on her arm. That shit will happen.
UFC Thunderdome.
Yeah. Only if we can get Tina Turner in it. That's the stipulation.
Whoopi Goldberg.
As Tina Turner.
Fuck that. Ike Turner. She could play Ike Turner.
All right, Diego Sanchez and Dan Hardy.
Yeah, Dan Hardy's basically, remember, he hasn't fought since 2012 because of his heart condition. He's hoping to get cleared to compete. He definitely wants to come back. He knows he won't be put into title contention. He says he only has a few fights left into him. One of the fights that he wants to happen is he wants to fight Diego Sanchez, and he says he wants to retire Diego Sanchez.
I would root for him in that fight if that's his goal.
I would too, actually.
I'm not a Dan Hardy fan, but I would root for him in that fight if that's his goal.
Yes.
Do you think Dan Hardy could do it? Come back and take out Diego Sanchez?
No.
Diego Sanchez would destroy him.
Diego
But
Sanchez is going to whoop his
wrestling?
ass.
With wrestling.
What? I don't care, no matter what it is.
He would take Dan Hardy down in a heartbeat, and there would be no question about it. But I still root for Dan Hardy enough.
I would too.
If he doesn't faint before he gets back into the octagon like Stephen Struve did.
He just had a panic attack.
I'm finally getting to come back. Ugh.
He's the fainting goat.
He's all excited. No. Gets on it. Not again.
As soon as Buffer says something real loud.
Hey, no, not again.
We are live!
And in this corner. Huh? Got that narco sleepy. Favor's going to be fighting again.
In Japan, September 20th, he's going to be going up against Masanori Kahahara.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
He said that pretty good.
Right?
Kanata.
Kanahara.
Yeah. I don't like them taking Faber out of California for fights, man.
Well, it's a non-title fight. I think he's got it in the
I
bag.
think this will be an easy fight for Faber.
Oh, yeah, he'll walk through them then.
I mean, he hasn't, unless it's fighting for a title, we know Faber's going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be his MO.
It's so messed up. But
Greatest
it's
champion
true.
with no belt.
I'm just more sad that we haven't been able to see him against Kid Yamamoto. Like they've mentioned here in this article, Kid Yamamoto was supposed to be a fight that was supposed to happen a long time ago. I think that would have been an awesome fight. Now he's going up against, Kanahara. It's going to be interesting.
Why?
Because it's in Japan.
Come on, you gotta sell it.
Got to sell it
You
somehow.
did not sell that one.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to
See if
figure
Faber
out why.
can continue his crazy streak of not losing non-title fights.
But I mean, where is Kanahara in the top 10?
Not.
Where is he in the realm? Where is he in the realm of fighters?
Poor Faber.
And I believe it's going to be on Fight Pass.
Did he just he gets to the top where that ladder to fight for the championship belt, then he slips on a banana and he falls off the whole fucking thing?
Someone hits him with the blue shell. All the way to the back. All the way to the back.
That's Jack.
So apparently this was happening on Twitter. Is that on Twitter this guy said that they should get Ed O'Neill and Joe Rogan to fight at Metamorphosis.
Why Ed O'Neill? Oh wait, Ed O'Neill.
Ed
I was like,
O'Neill,
Ed O'Neill.
Al
Oh
Bundy,
my God.
Al Bundy, black belt under the Gracies.
Yeah.
To fight black belt Joe Rogan under Eddie Bravo.
Hell yeah.
Happened at Metamorphosis. Apparently, this Twitter came up of Ed O'Neill. It said, "Sounds like a plan." They asked Joe Rogan. No comment was to be found. Come to find out, Ed O'Neill doesn't have Twitter, so it was a fake account.
Ah,
And so I'm a little disappointed.
real Ed O'Neill. Damn it.
That sucks.
No verification.
Bud would have been in his corner.
Right? Not just the dog.
Could have got Kelly for a ring girl.
Yeah, Peg
She
shows
looking
up.
lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Peg shows up with all the fucking SOA boys, right?
Yeah. No ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No ma'am.
So how do you think Ed O'Neill will do up against Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan's looking jacked lately.
Terrible.
I think Joe Rogan would destroy him.
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
he would do terrible.
Yeah.
I don't
Both
think.
black belts.
Hey,
I just think
Ed
O'Neill's a
O'Neill
little too
played
old.
football.
He scored 4 touchdowns in one game, dude.
Serious.
Yeah.
And then knocked up Peggy.
It would be interesting.
National organization.
I mean, how do you feel
of
about
men
these?
against Amazonian massacre? No ma'am.
How do you feel about like these celebrity fights? I mean, we were supposed to see Joe Rogan against Wesley Snipes allegedly back in the day.
Yeah.
Paid so much goddamn money to watch that fight.
How do you feel about these celebrity fights? Even if it was going to be in something like Metamorphosis. I mean,
I
we used
don't-
to have the celebrity boxing back in the day.
I don't want Ed O'Neill to die this way, though.
It's not an MMA bout though. At least it's just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but even choking him could send the guy into cardiac arrest. You know.
Yeah, what they said Ed O'Neill's 68.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that
It's a
one.
little too old.
Dude, he's trying to keep up with what is her name? Sofia Figuera,
Sofia
whatever.
Vergara.
Yeah.
Boobies.
That girl's all teeth and tits.
Is that a bad thing?
She has teeth.
The second biggest thing on her body.
Okay. Take your word for it.
We're getting sued.
So apparently, we've been talking about this for a while, that the UFC is looking into doing their own, how how do you say uniform?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now according to the SVP of Global Marketing, that this is indeed being negotiated, and they're saying that Ronda Rousey will be the face of this apparel and.
So GSP was supposed to be the first time they announced it. Then Anderson Silva was supposed to be when they announced it. So
Right.
now Ronda Rousey's going to be.
Right.
So everybody's uniform is going to have Rousey's face on it?
No. She will just be, on all the advertising
And all the
Oh, okay.
and all the posters. And they're basically saying, obviously, Ronda Rousey, the last time she did it, when she came in, with who's her biggest sponsor the last time? Do you remember?
I don't remember now.
It basically, she only had one sponsor.
The phone company, right?
She wants one sponsor on her jersey.
T-Mobile?
She's no longer, yeah.
So it's kind of clean.
So it's nice and clean, and she doesn't feel like she's a stock car. How do we talked about this before? They've talked to Nike, they've talked to Under Armour, they've talked to Adidas. All of them have declined comment or are unable to be reached when they're talking about has the UFC talked about doing a deal with either of you. Who do you think is going to get this deal? I mean, do you think this is a good thing for?
Well, Nike already sponsors fighters. I think Nike would probably get it, but who knows?
So does Adidas and so does Reebok.
Right, but it's going to be like the NFL. They'll probably issue it to where every year it goes to somebody else. Because that's how the NFL is. Like Under Armour had it one year, and then the next year Nike gets it, and then Reebok gets it.
I think it should go to Fila.
Is it still around?
I don't know.
Might as well make it FUBU.
I don't. For us, by us, motherfucker. What I don't understand is why they want Ronda Rousey pimping out a line of apparel that's going to be based towards men. I don't see how that works.
I don't understand why.
Fighting the UFC, sir. Sexist.
No, is this this is UFC's first apparel deal? So is this going to be
Right.
for fans too?
I gotta believe you can buy the official UFC in-ring
that's
gear
what I'm
to
saying.
work out in.
A sport that's mainly marketed to and mainly watched by men. I know that it has a plenty big female fan base.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to have a female spokesperson for what's going to be predominantly a male designed apparel line.
Who is she the spokesperson for? To the other
Science
fighters?
right now.
To the other fighters?
Again, I think she's just going to be the face. The one that's on the posters, the one that's on the label, the one that's on the commercial.
Aren't we going to fucking see it when they come out in the ring?
Well, no.
don't-
Everybody's going to have to wear it.
I understand that, but why you got to tell me about it? It's a standardized uniform.
But they're
You know what I
saying
mean?
in the sales department, she's going to be the face of it.
I'm sure they'll be selling
The
the
uniform.
uniform,
Yeah.
and
But what he's saying
women
is
will
like
probably be into it. Maybe.
the NFL doesn't have a single person that goes out and sells their.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or a team.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're saying that she's going to be the one that's going to be doing that.
Or is she the first person that has to wear the uniform?
I don't think she'll. I don't know.
Is it unitards for everybody? Just
Purple spandex.
yeah.
She's going to be the wrestling singlet for everybody,
All right.
men and women.
I'm down.
Yeah.
You're okay with that? We're okay with that. Well, speaking of uniform deals, Robbie Lawler, just before his fights that we went and saw here, that was UFC on Fox 12, has signed with Adidas.
Nice.
However,
I didn't realize that Reebok and Adidas were in the fight game, so that's my mistake.
Reebok does Johnny Hendricks.
I didn't realize that.
You didn't notice he's been wearing his Reebok stuff everywhere all the time?
And again, that's what I'm saying. I don't know these faces of clothing or whatever. I can't tell you. I wear Adidas and Converse, and I couldn't tell you one motherfucker that wears any of this
I
shit.
think every single person is here wearing T-shirts and shorts.
Shorts.
So, there's nobody in here wearing Calvin Klein. There's nobody in here wearing Gucci.
But what's crazy is that even though he had signed with Adidas, the UFC did not allow him to wear all Adidas gear in his fight before round. Do you think it's because of this deal that's coming up? It's not going to be Adidas. They didn't sign Adidas, obviously.
That's gonna suck for the fighters that have contracts with other clothing companies.
Yeah, Johnny Hendricks is with Reebok. I believe Anderson Silva's with Reebok too. These guys aren't going to be allowed to wear Reebok anymore.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like that the UFC does. When I understand that they want to limit their sponsorships, they don't want maybe certain clothing lines or certain endorsers to sponsor people. But these fighters, and I agree with the way the UFC structures their pay. You got to perform to get paid. So these guys, the only other way they can get money is by getting sponsors. And then when the UFC keeps cutting sponsors out from underneath them, I mean, how big is an Adidas deal for Johnny Hendricks? Probably big.
You mean Robbie Lawler?
Robbie Lawler. What did you say? Hendricks had it?
Hendricks says Reebok.
Reebok. So I mean, so it's like, how big is that deal? And you're going to cut that out from them? You're going to take away that paycheck? Does the UFC compensate them then if they lose that endorsement?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Like,
That
what's
kinda
the big screw company that's on all the shorts? What's that? The something Connections, or it's the they're a building company.
About it, forget.
Oh, I'll look it up. But
I don't remember.
it's
I mean, they used to have Condom Depot on their ass all the time, too.
No, yeah.
That was always hilarious.
It was always funny because they always placed it across the
It was
ass.
never on the crotch.
Yeah, man wipes was
Man
all
wipes.
over the event that we watched. The UFC on Fox 12. There's man wipes was all over the place.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a little odd.
I was and it was funny because there's people. What's man wipes? I don't understand. I'm like, just wipes
Wet wipes for your butt?
It's
Yeah,
wipes for
to,
a man.
to keep yourself fresh.
Yeah.
I-
Flushable wet wipes for
Yeah,
your ass?
So Dustin Poirier originally came out as a 2-1 favorite over Conor McGregor when the fight first got announced. A week later, it is completely reversed, and Conor McGregor is now a 2-1 favorite over
What's out there? He kicked Diego Brandau's ass.
Conor McGregor. No, this actually happened before the fight was announced. That's what I'm saying. The fight was announced as Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. Poirier came as a 2-1 favorite. This was after the Brandau fight. That's when they announced the fight.
Right, but so they announced him as an underdog, but everybody who saw that fight, saw what he did to Diego Brandau, goes out and immediately bets on Conor McGregor, which reverses the odds.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Both the odds came out after his fight. So after his Brandau fight,
I understand
they
that.
said he's a 2-1 underdog to Poirier.
I understand.
A
that.
week
So-
later, now they're like, okay, we're gonna switch the odds. To me, that's crazy that in a week.
because
You think
of how
in
many
a
people-
week? You think a week later people finally watch the fight, even knowing
No,
that he won it?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is whoever made the odds, for whatever reason, they decided to make Conor McGregor the underdog. Mm-hmm. For obviously a stupid reason. People saw that and were like, oh shit, after what he just did to Diego Brandau, I'm going to run out and bet. So during the course of that week, it
Okay,
switched
now I
the
see what
odds.
you're saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was probably dumb to even make him an underdog to begin with, honestly, because now whoever placed those bets, enough bets to obviously switch the odds, they're going to get huge payouts when Conor McGregor wins this fight.
You think Conor McGregor is going to beat Dustin Poirier?
Kid looks unstoppable right now,
think
man.
so.
He's only 3-0
But he's
in the
He
octagon.
looks really good.
In the
though.
octagon, he's 3-0. I mean, most of his fights have been in Ireland.
This will be an interesting.
I think this is
for him.
definitely a test for him.
It'll be his toughest fight for
It'll
sure.
be,
For
it'll
sure,
Be, it'll
for
be a
sure.
good fight for him, but I mean, his last 3 fights, he's looked like an unstoppable freight train.
Yeah, definitely the hype train behind behind Conor McGregor is definitely growing.
Yeah.
I would like to see him a little more tested. I think this is definitely a fight
This is
to
going to
test
be a
him
great test for him, that's for sure.
before he moves up into the division.
You stop teasing me with that Gina Carano gift.
I know.
You like that,
I
don't
know.
you? Yeah,
Bites her lip.
Just keep bringing. I have that saved. I just watch it every now and then. Just right. Yeah.
Damn you.
So apparently, Bisping was on Twitter again, trolling around, and this time he caught and fish hooked Mr. Tim Sylvia. Which
Hey, bro, I'm sitting there eating Oreos and shit.
Luke Rockhold put up, if Bisping squeaks by Kung Lee, I'm going to fight him and take out his other eye. Which is pretty funny. Michael Bisping just responds, classy. And he says,
No, you gotta say like classy.
Awesome, buddy.
Classy,
Luke
mate.
Rockhold responds, no, spitting on opponent's corner is classy, calling the kettle black, T-Master. And then randomly Tim Sylvia jumps into the mix and says, Bisping has no class.
Bisping has no class.
Bisping comes in and says, Tim Sylvia, who rattled your cage? What the fuck has this got to do with you? Haven't you got a toilet to clean somewhere? Hashtag washed up.
That's
Can
awesome.
you imagine cleaning that guy's toilets now? How big he is?
Especially lives in Maine. That's a lot of lobster.
He's huge.
Probably just sounds like a waterfall when he takes a shit.
Tim Sylvia responds to Bisping and says, win a belt and come talk to me. Bisping says, okay, do you recommend I wear it backwards in public? Tim Sylvia said, just win one first. You can do whatever you want. Some random other people jump into it. I like the one guy that randomly says, nice tribal tattoos, Tim. Belt you felt dead hard after you got them, huh? I love Tim Sylvia's response. I'm part native, bitch. What part native? Is that why he's got the mohawk and the bad tribal
1%.
tattoos?
Yes.
Like,
He fucking listened to Indian Outlaw before he came out.
He's part of the Maine-Hecan tribe.
He's Cherokee and Choctaw.
Bisping responds, though, would this be the belt you were stripped of for failing a drug test?
Oh.
Says, no, I was never stripped. I gave it up. And then I said I was going to come back and win it again, something you will never know about.
Damn.
I handed it back. They didn't take it.
Tim Sylvia says, one should never argue with fools, as onlookers can't tell who's who from a distance. Therefore, I bid you good night, sir.
Why would he even, why would Tim Sylvia even jump in this
I
fight?
don't know. Because he wants a fight in Maine?
Yeah.
It's like he ran out of peanut butter to eat or something. Just was like,
Hey,
"Oh,
someone's
Twitter."
on Twitter, I know.
Hey, it could be, like I was gonna say, it could be like us, man. I'm just sitting there trying to jump in on whatever, man. I mean,
That's
like
us. We're nobody.
yeah, I know.
That's fine. They want to talk shit to us for being nobody. That's cool. But man, if you're Tim Sylvia, like you should try to stay away from this shit as much as possible.
Yeah, like Stipe on Wednesday, bro. He's like, Twitter, I'm all, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I like that. I retweeted that shit. Try to talk to him again. Fuck you. All right, thanks. Okay, thanks.
So after UFC 175 July 5th, of course, we get our drug results.
Are you shitting
Back.
me? Drysdale finally gets a fight and he
Fails his drug test. Robert Drysdale and Kevin Casey both
Oh
failed
my-
their drug test.
Well, Kevin Casey doesn't surprise me at all.
No?
No.
No?
Not even a little tiny bit. A guy who's managed by Spencer Pratt and gave himself his own black belt?
I
No.
remember that.
Hey, he tested positive for droneostanolone, a steroid.
That sounds
Adriana
Italian.
Stallone? Is that
Hey, fucking Sly, look over here.
Adriana Stallone?
Drysdale just gets flags for elevated testosterone and epilepsytestosterone. His elevated CE ratio was 12-1.
That's big.
That's pretty high.
It's supposed to be what? Like we're in the 4
4-1?
and 6-1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he have a smash burger?
He might have had a smash.
Might have had a smash burger.
But yeah, so Robert Drysdale fails the drug test.
That sucks so bad. I've been waiting for this guy to get into a cage for so long. And he lost his fight too, right?
No, he won.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he won. But it's like you said, how do these guys, they think, oh no, bro, we're going to totally get away with it.
Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's going to know. No, dude, didn't you see like the last 6 people? No, it doesn't matter, bro.
I got this.
Got this.
They weren't doing this.
I'm mixing Kool-Aid with my pee. You'll never notice. I switched the pool test, man. It's good.
That's
They won't figure it out. So you remember UFC 122 that happened in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
That was also the same one where Anderson Silva walked around like an idiot and basically won his fight, and where Dana White got pissed off, left the belt on the table, and walked out.
Who was that against? Damian Maia?
That was against Damian Maia.
Yeah.
Also, another fight that happened that was extremely boring that was on that fight, or on that card, was Renzo Gracie against Matt Hughes.
Such a lame fight.
They're having a rematch,
That's awesome.
but it's not going to be in MMA. It's going to be at Abu Dhabi. So
Yeah.
still back in Abu Dhabi. At the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, we're going to see Matt Hughes go up against Renzo Gracie. What do you think?
I mean, it's ADCC. It's Abu Dhabi. It's a little bit different than obviously the UFC rules. So I mean, this is kind of like Renzo's home.
Yeah, but Matt Hughes has also been in Abu Dhabi and done quite well.
Has he done quite well?
Yeah, he's done
I
quite
mean,
well.
he is a world class wrestler. He obviously has learned a submission game through MMA. He can obviously compete in something like this. I kind of just feel like the Abu Dhabi is more of, if you're a natural Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner, then you're probably more at home there than anybody else who just learned it to compensate for whatever
Right.
other skill they had.
Right. I do feel it's a little awkward, the Twitter exchange that happened about this event, though. Started off with Matt Hughes saying, "Hey, brother, I won't let the cat out of the bag, but it's going to be a good time with this," which is not big a deal. But then Renzo says, "My brother Matt Hughes, always an honor to sweat with you in the arena."
So they're going to hug each other.
And they don't want to talk about what's going on, but he's just letting everybody know that he's going to sweat with them in the arena.
That's awesome.
Like, just seems awkward to me.
It's very awkward. And they're both so polite.
They're both very
It's
polite.
it's like two Canadians in an argument.
I'm surprised they didn't apologize first. So who do you think's going to win that match?
And I don't even care.
No? You're not going to buy that on
Let
pay-per-view?
me tell you who's not going to win that fight.
The
The
fans?
people watching it are not going to win that fight.
I won't even look it up on YouTube.
Aww.
I know. I think one of the only people I know that is actually going to actively watch that is my buddy Eric.
Possibly Albert.
Yeah. Well, why Albert? Because of Henzo?
Yeah, he's got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
If you posted
He's
it,
got nothing else to do.
if you posted it, I would share it, but I still fucking wouldn't watch it.
I'm like,
I let other people watch it and you tell me how it went.
Exactly.
Matt Hughes could walk up into the UFC right now for a super fight with Cain Velasquez, and my buddy would be on the front of the couch on the edge of the seat rooting for Matt Hughes.
He's not that. He's not that big.
My buddy Chris is a big Matt Hughes fan.
He
too.
just swings from him when it's Matt Hughes. He just swings from him all day.
My buddy Chris, because he's like, oh, he's a farm boy. He's a big farm boy. He's a wrestler. Chris is a big redneck wrestler. You know Chris,
Oh, crybaby,
Grumpy Bear. Yeah.
grumpy bear.
Those are two nicknames I don't want to have.
We went and saw the event where Matt Hughes lost his belt up in Sacramento to George St. Pierre, and he literally was crying in the parking lot. And the whole way home, we just gave him shit. It was great. It was great.
I just think of that guy who cried. I just want you guys to know when he's talking to the pro
The wrestlers,
wrestlers.
yeah.
I just want you to know you guys are doing a great job. And I love you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
So Joe Riggs was supposed to be making his return up against Paulo Thiago at UFC Fight Night 51, that's going down in September. Also go down in Brazil. The headliner of that event is Bigfoot Silva against Andrei Arlovski. However, Joe Riggs is now out of his fight with Paulo Thiago because he shot himself while cleaning his gun.
Oh, man, Nick Diaz has got to be having a field day.
He shot himself in the hand and leg while cleaning his gun. What's worse is the UFC released a statement on their website that says, we are made aware recently that newly signed UFC competitor Joe Riggs was involved in an unfortunate accident last night. While cleaning his permitted firearm, a pistol, the gun discharged, injuring his hand and upper thigh. Riggs was transported to a nearby hospital in Arizona where he's being treated by physicians. We wish Joe a speedy recovery.
He shouldn't be allowed to have a gun.
Who cleans a loaded gun?
That's exactly. I mean, that's like rule number one.
How do you maintain a gun permit after you just had a fight in a hospital?
It's been a long time.
It doesn't matter. This just stays on your record.
Because
It
it's
stays on
Arizona.
your
That's
This is
why.
like
They
domestic.
didn't get arrested because the cops were fans of Nick Diaz.
That's
remember?
right, that's
So
right.
they let him go.
It's Arizona, dude. My 8-year-old could have a gun in Arizona right now.
Your 8-year-old should have a gun right now. Especially in your house. Everybody should be armed. Including the young girl.
An armed house is a polite house.
Exactly.
I mean, do you think we'll see Joe Riggs back in the UFC now?
After this stupid shit, I don't know.
Oh, he's on contract. We're going to at least see one.
They could terminate
Two
his
fights.
contract.
No, we're going to see him fight.
He'll be in there.
He'll be in there.
Hopefully he fights Nick Diaz.
No.
Because again, he moved, when they talked about him coming to fight, he moved the needle. And everybody knows now that's what it takes.
he moved the needle.
He moved the needle.
He moved the needle again, too, when he shot himself because everyone's like, what an idiot.
No such thing as bad publicity.
Hopefully if he does come back to the cage, he doesn't have a quick discharge like that.
Oh.
Nobody likes quick discharge, Joey.
Or
Nobody
an-
likes
or
quick
an accidental-
discharge.
Or an accidental one.
Yeah.
What was he? I'm just like, was he?
Yeah, it had to have been on
That's-
his leg. Like, the gun's in his lap while he's cleaning it and it just goes off.
I don't know.
Was he in sweats like Plexico, you think?
Now I'm envisioning that.
You like envisioning Joe Riggs
In his sweats.
while cleaning a gun in
It's a
his
good
lap.
look, it's a good look for him. Yes. Got in my head, dude.
So remember we talked about this a long time ago when it first was being approached. Now we actually get to see a trailer for it. We're going to have our new show on Spike called Gym Rescue, starring Randy Couture and Frank Shamrock.
Such an odd pairing.
They're going to be going to MMA gyms across the United States to try to save them, to bring them back, much like Restaurant
Kitchen
Impossible,
Nightmares and
Kitchen
Bar
Nightmare,
Rescues,
Bar
yeah.
Rescue,
Because all those
Restaurant
have-
Impossible.
Oh, they have such a huge success rate.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody who does the guy who does bar rescue, he's successful. He's
Yeah.
been successful. And I wouldn't say that Randy wasn't successful.
But the bars aren't after he leaves them.
Not usually.
Even just with Kitchen Nightmares, like the failure rate with those kitchens is insane.
Is it really high?
after
It's
Gordon
because they
Ramsay
were
leaves
already failing to begin with,
Yeah.
and a lot of them go back to their old ways.
Yep.
them. Oh god, this is going to be terrible.
Just wait, this is going to turn into like life rescue. They're going to be like, you got 13 kids and you do crack. We're here to save the day.
I'd play this trailer, but it's actually a long trailer.
First thing we got to do is trim down the amount of kids you have. So pick your favorites.
The rest are getting shipped out.
Go to labor camps in Thailand.
But it looks intense and it looks like a drama. This gym owner, he flips out. He throws his glasses on the ground.
What? Oh my god.
The
Like
best part is, though, he pushes Frank Shamrock, and Frank Shamrock just looks at him with dead eyes and then walks out of the set or / gym.
and he said, "You're lucky you don't look like a broad." Because
Wrong
then,
brother.
Shamrock.
Wrong
Ken
brother.
Shamrock.
This
Oh,
is Frank
okay.
Shamrock,
I don't
Ken
care.
Shamrock.
he could
I
say,
don't
"You're
care."
lucky you don't look like a broad, or I'd get my brother."
Yeah. You're lucky
And
this
he'll
isn't in
whoop
Modesto
your
at the
ass.
mall.
you know what threw me? He don't have the pecker on his teeth no more.
Maybe
His
got-
braces are gone. He got them fixed finally.
Yeah.
breasts. Maybe he has-
Braces.
And rhinoplasty.
Maybe he got
Right?
Invisalign.
Finally.
Which I still don't understand from the get-go why he didn't get Invisalign.
He's got money.
Exactly.
Should've.
But no, he had those.
Never understood that. Go get
So
braces.
maybe we'll watch this after the show. I'll
40-year-old
definitely put
man.
this up on our Facebook so you can check it out. Tell us what you think.
40-year-old man wants to get teeth jewelry. Doesn't make any sense.
Jacare
Yes.
is going to be having his rematch against Gegard Mousasi at
Yes.
UFC 181 December 6th. This is also the same bout we get to see Chris Weidman go up against Vitor Belfort. Jacare is saying that after he beats Mousasi, he will ask for a title shot. He doesn't think he deserves one yet. He does believe he will deserve one, though, after he defeats Gegard Mousasi. He will also be undefeated in the UFC if he defeats Gegard Mousasi. How do you think this fight's going down?
Tough call. I don't
Interesting.
feel like Mousasi, even though he has racked up a win or two in the UFC. Jacare he's improved so much since leaving Strikeforce.
He looks like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks so much bigger too.
What do you think if he does get past Mousasi though? How do you think he's going to fare for a title shot though?
I think he'll definitely get a title shot.
Oh no, get a title shot, but
For sure.
in a title shot situation, how do you think Jacare does?
His hands have been looking pretty damn good.
They have been.
And his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu we know is off the charts.
Yep.
I think it'd be a very, very good fight. I think he will be definitely getting a title shot, and I think it will be Chris Weidman. I don't think Vitor Belfort will be able to get past Chris Weidman. I think Chris Weidman will use his wrestling to stifle Vitor Belfort. We know Vitor doesn't do the best against wrestlers. He does have those quick hands. He does have, obviously, big high kicks now that he's been showing off. He's been knocking people out. I do believe, however, that Chris Weidman will be able to take out Vitor, and then moving on to Jacare, that to me is a much more interesting fight.
Yeah.
I think the ground battle is going to be definitely something to watch. And again, whose hands are better in that fight?
It's exciting things. I want to see Vitor Blitzkriegs Weidman.
You think it's going to happen?
He hasn't done a good one in a while. I would like to see it happen.
Man, his last couple fights he's been winning the first round.
True.
One by head kick.
I want to see him blitzkrieg somebody like he did Wong,
Right.
though.
Just
nonstop
wall him.
throwing.
Like
just
64
wall him.
shots in 8 seconds.
Right?
You know?
All accurate on the chin.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to see.
So we talked about this when it was recently announced. It was going to be called Navy Street. This is going to be the DirecTV 10-episode drama about kind of based around an MMA gym in Venice Beach.
All right.
Do you remember talking about that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Vaguely, yeah. So now we have a trailer. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of drugs.
Side note, did you see the MMA documentary that's on demand right now?
Which one?
I can't remember what it's called. It's a new one.
Then no.
It's the only one I saw on demand, so I didn't know
I
there was
don't
more
know.
than
I
one.
don't have cable, dude.
Oh, that's right. You got Netflix. Piss off then.
Yeah, Netflix and the internet, man. I can see whatever I want. I'll look for it though. How about that? So this one they've now renamed it. It's no longer going to be called Navy Street. It's now going to be called Kingdom.
All right.
It will be airing on channel 239 October 8th.
Only on DirecTV.
Only on DirecTV.
Only on DirecTV.
Yeah, so check that out. Are you excited?
No.
No.
I don't have DirecTV, so I can't be excited.
Yeah, and the thumb they used for it was not right. It looked like the beginning of a gay porn. There was like 3 dudes hugging, and it's not.
It's a lot of drama. It looks like a lot of drama.
What
Based
kind
on
of
the
gay porn
trailer.
do you watch,
I don't
man?
know. I might need a man wipe here in a second.
Yeah, I would never admit to knowing how gay porn starts out.
In his movie Q, Brokeback Mountain. Haven't watched it yet, though.
Hey, come on.
John Jones recently put up on his Instagram a video of him getting his eye stitched up that he sustained an injury while in training. He says he's now going to wear headgear during training because he doesn't want to be out of his fight anytime soon. He will be still able to fight. Daniel Cormier immediately said, September 27th, I'm going to put so many of these in your face. He's showing himself punching John Jones, obviously a Photoshop. I can't wait every day. I'm dreaming and I'm thinking of you. I'm going to take you down and grind my elbow into that cut you got today. Put a bullseye on that thing. Some things should remain private.
Damn.
You know, you could put an N in there, and that is a really great statement.
He also says, Daniel Cormier, I'm going to put my bank account on me to win. I'm very confident. This is no gamemanship. I don't know if I can beat Rashad. I don't really know if I can beat Glover. But I do know, without question, I can beat John Jones.
He doesn't know if he can beat Rashad?
It's just the way we match up. It's his mentality and my mentality. Everything about John makes me think there's no way he can beat me.
He doesn't know if he can beat Rashad, though?
But I think he's thinking he's going to come in, overpower the long body, get it to the ground, and then just fucking...
Ground and pound him?
Yep.
He doesn't know if he can beat a guy that's been beaten,
Yeah,
but he's confident he can beat a guy that has not.
Because you're over there doing MMA math. He's doing his fighter math.
I'm not doing MMA math. I'm not
think
saying
it's
this
gonna-
guy beat this guy, so
I
obviously
don't
this
think
guy
it's
can
gonna
beat this
be
guy.
as easy as he thinks it
The
is.
confidence level is weird to me, though, because you're saying that you can beat a guy who has not shown any weakness versus a guy who has been beaten, that has shown that he can be beaten. You're saying, I don't know how I can do it against a guy who's already crumbled, but I know that I can crumble the guy that's never crumbled before.
Well, John Jones responded and said, his hands are too fast. His jiu-jitsu's too good. His wrestling's too good. He's too fast. He's too experienced. He can't beat karate. He can't beat timing. He's like, I've literally heard everything. everything. Basically saying he's heard it all. He doesn't think that's going to be a problem.
Oh God, I don't want to watch that video.
It's basically just saying that.
He just pisses me off when he talks to his stupid Instagram account. Does he do it like his typical?
Of
John
course
Jones?
he does.
His hands are too red. He's banging me. God, I fucking hate John Jones.
How do you think this fight is going to go down? John Jones against Daniel Cormier.
I know how I hope it goes down.
Right.
You want Daniel Cormier to
I
win.
want Daniel
Right.
Cormier to win. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I'm a Jones fan.
I was until he started coming out with those stupid videos, man.
But I mean,
I
he
just like
flipped
his
me
fighting
instantly.
style, but
His elbows
It's gonna
they're very creative. You know, he's done a lot of creative things in the cage, but
I think it's going to be a tough fight for both of them. It
So-
can go either way, really.
So as a Jones fan, then how do you feel? I really think that Cormier is just going to crawl on him and then overpower him. I don't think he has an answer for that.
I don't know. I think he can keep him back with his reach. I mean, definitely he's going to be
See-
getting taken down a couple times, but I think he's got good enough wrestling to where he can get back up eventually.
I mean, we have to
work
remember-
work the striking, and you got to remember, like, after a while, DC gets hit a bunch of times. He might not be able to take him down. So
I mean, and we've
it's
seen
gonna be.
John Jones does have. Yeah, remember his original background was wrestling. He was a wrestler.
I mean,
not the same level as Daniel Cormier.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not at all. I'm
And,
just saying
and
he does
the,
have.
the two body differences
body size
makes
is
a
a big
big
difference.
difference for wrestling.
Yeah.
I think Cormier is definitely going to get him down a couple times for sure, and I know he's prepared for that. So
There's something we know is
It'll
going
be
to happen.
interesting.
We know,
It'll be interesting.
yeah, we know DC's going to get hit, and we know that John Jones is going to get taken down. How they both respond to those situations is going to determine the fight.
Has DC gone 5 rounds? Has he been in a 5-round fight?
I don't think so.
No.
So if it gets,
I think
to
he's
the
been in
late-
a like a
He's
main
been in a
event, but they
championship.
didn't last that long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. How long was
What about the Barnett fight?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Is
The
that a
Barnett
3-rounder
fight
or
where
a
he
5-rounder?
where he fought for the heavyweight tournament championship
Strike
belt,
Force.
but it wasn't for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, I think it was a 3-rounder. It wasn't a main card.
Let's see. It was. I know it was a. Let's see if we can find out here.
Yeah, we need some searching.
Yeah, there's a 5.
It was a 5-round, and he went all 5 rounds.
Yep.
There you go. So he was when he became the
So,
Strike
yeah.
Force Heavyweight Grand Prix champion. It was a 5-round fight. He has gone 5 rounds.
Okay.
One time.
But this fight will be a tougher fight for him.
Oh, definitely a tougher fight. I don't know. I thought Josh Barnett was going to be a tougher fight, and then seeing being
Yeah.
able to ragdoll Josh Barnett, where he was dumping him on his head, just like he did Dan Henderson recently.
But yeah, and Barnett came into that kind of weird too. Like when he walked out, you could tell it wasn't going to go well.
I mean, do you think he could do that to John Jones? Pick him up, dump him on his head like that? I mean, he flipped those guys in the air like it was
Oh, if
nothing.
he gets a hold of him, yes, it's going to happen.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think if he gets a hold of him,
I don't know if he's going to be able to throw him around like he did Dan Henderson. I mean, come on now.
Did-
Dan
but did-
Henderson
but-
is
but
way
come-
smaller, and he's
Very
old.
true.
I don't know.
He's old.
Nobody expect Dan Henderson to get thrown around like that,
No.
especially Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of fights Dan Henderson's been in where you didn't expect the outcome, like when Jake Shields.
Yeah, when Jake
destroyed
Shields
him.
manhandled
right.
him. It was
Right.
like
In
no one-
wrestling, too.
No one was expecting that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so-
out wrestled him, and Dan Henderson's supposed to be, an Olympic alternate.
And Dan Henderson just came off TRT, wasn't it? Or was that his last fight with TRT? Or had
No, he was still on TRT
Yeah.
in the UFC when he came
Right.
back. So
Yeah, he had an exemption.
yeah, that's right.
I want an exemption.
I keep telling you, you don't compete, you can get it,
It's an interesting
and you're never going to compete. Just get it. You need it. We can tell.
My kids have some made up like fight history of me. Like they think that I fought all these people. They think that I'm a fighter.
You're 1-0.
I'm 1-0, but I'm like my daughter thinks that I fought my neighbor.
Yeah,
I remember that happening.
No, not that fight. That's different.
Different fight. Okay.
he fought the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's different. You know what? I'm not even going into this right now. Eddie Alvarez and Cowboy Cerrone. Let's do that.
So, yeah, rumors are having that Eddie Alvarez is finally coming to the UFC, which is crazy because he still has one fight left on his contract with Bellator. But rumors are saying that Eddie Alvarez is going to be free of his contract from Bellator, that the UFC might be possibly buying that contract out, putting him on a pay-per-view against Donald Cerrone at UFC 178, which is in September.
Dana was like, "Coker, can I borrow Alvarez for a little bit?" Coker's like, "Okay."
We've been good friends.
Yeah.
We've been doing well.
I don't even think they're going to take him out of his contract. They're going to be like, "Okay, this contract here is on pause. Go to UFC, get your ass beat, and then come on back."
Wow, you really think Eddie Alvarez is going to get his ass beat by Donald Cerrone?
Yes, on the tear that he's on right now. Yes,
Eddie Alvarez is a tough
He's no
SOB,
joke.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's one of the greatest, I'd say, lightweight guys who's never been signed to the UFC.
And that's what's rough about it.
Bellator champion, Dream
That's
champion.
what's rough about it, though, is that he's never fought in the elite UFC.
Yeah,
He hasn't fought against the top competition.
I wouldn't say he hasn't fought against top competition. I think some of the guys he's fought have definitely been top competition.
I'm not saying he hasn't gone up against names, but still, fighting in the UFC, fighting in that pool is a lot different than fighting in any pool in any other organization.
I mean, we look at where is this? I remember when Shinya Aoki, he's fought Kawajiri, he's fought Hohe Manson. Those are a lot of guys that in the early days.
Okay, let's go to the end though.
Start now, recently, where he's won against Mike Chandler,
Aoki.
Patrick Ferry, and Shinya Aoki, which are still pretty big names.
Roger Huerta, well, I mean,
Pat Curran.
relevancy though.
Josh
When was
Neer.
Roger Huerta recently? When was he relevant? Pat Curran, when was he relevant recently? Aoki's the only relevant name I see on there.
Patrick Ferry's pretty big Pitbull.
Okay, he's
And Chandler, who was their champion.
big in Bellator, and again in Bellator.
All right.
These guys haven't.
Yeah, Rampage just went and ran through Bellator.
I mean, we've seen these guys time and time again come up from.
I just think you
smaller
can't count them out in a
Yeah, I
fight.
think it'll be a
That's
good
my
fight.
biggest thing. I think that's actually a really good fight.
I
and
think it's a tough fight.
I've been wanting
Definitely.
to go to the UFC, so
People have been wanting to go to the UFC for years,
I mean,
and I don't know.
tried to.
And he tried to. and
Bjorn
then
screwed him out
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Bjorn took him to court.
Maybe he could be one of those guys that comes over and is just like, "Look at me, I'm here to stay."
And I think this is actually a good fight for him, dropping him right in the middle of the division, especially with the hype that he has, that he is, potentially one of the greatest lightweights, has never been signed to the UFC. Putting him right in the middle of the division, not a title shot, not at the bottom. Putting him right in the middle against a tough guy like Donald Cerrone, I think is a good fight.
But again, what does this say to everybody in the division that's been putting in work? Tough shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you drop him in the middle, and if he gets worked by Cerrone, then he drops. He won't be
Right.
in the top 10. But if he beats Cerrone right off the bat, then he proves that he should be there, and he should be top 5 or whatever.
So now you can finally stare at this for a little bit longer.
I don't think I
There we go.
can.
Now we'll talk about the story.
I can't handle it.
We actually, at the press conference, post-fight press conference, they mentioned, everyone was asking basically, what is going on with Gina Carano's contract?
Right.
Why is she not signed? He keeps saying he's going to sign her. He keeps saying he's going to sign her. And all he would say is, it's complicated. Everyone asks, is it a movie deal? Is it producers? Is it
And all he can
See,
say is it's
anything?
complicated.
And all he says is it's complicated.
But even-
I'm very positive about it, but it's complicated. I'm still working on it. That's all I can say.
When we said is it the movie industry? Is it the film industry? He shook his head and goes, "It's complicated." So-
You guys asked him a question?
yeah.
Yeah,
You guys asked Sir Dana White a question?
yeah, dude.
Uncle Dana?
Uncle Dana.
After I was revived,
Yeah.
I passed out first. Everybody came out. I was like, "Oh, we're really here."
I like that he shook his head yes at you. That's cool.
Are you jealous?
I am a little bit.
Maybe he'll shake his ass at you. Maybe. If you actually go to the event.
Maybe he'll stay at your event, our event. He just came out. Okay, you got questions? Because I have to leave.
Well, he had to walk back to Vegas, man.
Yeah, you had to walk back to Vegas.
He made before the fight, the Brown fight. He basically Brown Lawler fight. He said that if this goes 5 rounds, I'll walk back to Vegas.
Yeah,
And it went 5 rounds,
so he had to walk back
so he
to
had to walk back to
Vegas.
Vegas.
He went back and deleted that tweet immediately. My kid had my phone.
Yeah.
Damn kid.
Hacked. I got hacked. So then, of course, the biggest news to happen over this week is that we talked about Nick Diaz signing his 3-fight/2-fight deal with the UFC last week.
Right.
The first fight has been announced, which is what I was saying all along. His first fight is going to be Anderson Silva
You did call it. Now I don't.
at middleweight.
Yeah,
Now I'm calling this. I don't think it's going to be his first fight.
Really?
I still think Nick Diaz is going to fight before the year's over.
Yeah, this fight is happening January, and you think it's going to happen before then?
I think
Who's he going to fight?
I think he's going to step up and fight somebody somebody's going to fall off a card, and I think he's going to step in to fill it.
I don't think so. I think this is too much super fight money for him to do anything
Take a
else
risk.
but do this
I
fight.
guarantee you, if he gets offered a fight by say October, he'll take it.
but it's not lucrative to them if he takes a fight and then loses.
Right.
And then they
That's
try
what I
to.
said.
Like,
I
oh,
think
we
this
don't
is
want
too
this
much
fight.
super fight money
Yeah.
for him to take anything else, or them
Yeah.
to even offer. Now, he may be like, I'll fight. They're going to be like, dude, you got a super fight.
Unless
Shut
it's
up.
like against Johnny Hendricks or something.
Or Robbie Lawler.
Yeah,
That's the only 2
that's
fights
the
I
only
see.
thing I see.
Only
him
2
actually
fights.
coming in
And
early
plus,
for.
it's going to make so much money if he does lose. Dana will be like, "You're not going to get your second fight. Here's your fucking money. Get the fuck on."
I think they'll give him one extra fight.
You think so?
Because this one's at middleweight.
I don't know. I just feel like I say,
How do you
look at
feel
those
again-
pictures.
How do you feel about this fight going down? Who do you think is going to win this fight?
I have
Nick
no
Diaz or
idea.
Anderson
What
Silva?
is
What's the over under of it happening?
Yeah,
What's the
I just
odds on
hope
it actually
that
happening?
All comes to
Yeah, Injury Bug has been an asshole lately.
Yeah, I just hope everything goes
I mean,
down and nobody gets hurt.
Took us,
It
the
happens.
Gustafson fight against John Jones got
And I
taken
knew that
out.
was going to happen too. I had a feeling
Because we don't
Gustafson
even
was
know
gonna
if his
get hurt.
leg is 100% cleared to fight.
That's why I say the UFC, other people might see that same thing and be like, well, shit, this fight might not happen. October rolls around, somebody drops out of a fight for injury. Nick Diaz is already, ready to go, according to him. I could see him fighting box. I really could.
So who's the? Because he's only going to take title or super fights. Who's the super fight you see him taking?
This is the super fight.
No, I know, but he's saying
that Nick Diaz is only going to take title or super fights.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Actually, I didn't take that into consideration. I don't know. I'm just saying I could see it happening.
Well, I'm hoping January 31st in Vegas we're going to see this fight happen.
I think it'll be a great fight.
I think
perfect for both of them to come back and
I definitely I am a little worried about Anderson. Like I said, throwing kicks. Being a little weary.
He's got rebar in his leg.
I think his style matches up really well with Diaz's style.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane to watch the Stockton slap go up against the super senses.
Yeah.
Really. That's like, to me, in my head, I can't even see how that works together at all.
I'm just glad for our area. This is going to blow our area up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So now let's talk about UFC on Fox 12, the event that happened down in San Jose this past weekend, the one that me and Dennis were able to go to live.
That's awesome.
It was great.
I'm glad you guys got to go. Seriously. It's a cool experience.
So starting off with the prelims, which happened on Fight Pass, we had Nohad Lahatz go up against Steven Seiler, take this to a
Were you guys there for all this?
Of course we were.
Every bit of
every
it.
Single one?
Every single fight. Every single fight. And then we had a catch weight because Juliana Lima did not make weight. Now, we did have two weight issues happen on this whole card. Number one, Juliana Lima did not make weight. And then number two, Matt Brown did not make weight.
Really?
However, some weird rule with the California State Athletic Commission said that they were not allowed to weigh in a second time. All the other athletic commissions, you miss weight once, you're given another hour to come back and weigh in again to see if you can make weight. They told them, no, you can't. They thought they were going to be able to come back and make weight. So these happened both at a catch weight. However, they were not fined the 20% that was supposed to go to the commission and supposed to go to the opponent because they were not allowed to come back and make weight.
And the commission had said that morning that they made some type of mistake.
They made some type of mistake. They were supposed to be allowing them to come back to make weight.
Awesome. Way to go, guys.
So, weird thing that happened. But Joanna Jaworski, right? I don't know, some Polish last name I can't
Whooped
pronounce.
that ass.
Yeah, came in and just dominated Juliana Lima. I wonder if the weight cut really had something to do with that. She did look pretty slow and sluggish, where Joanna, her stand-up looked really, really good.
But it did. It looked like a little girl against a giant, and the little girl just whomped that ass.
And that was the first 115-pound fight for women in the UFC, right?
Yeah, and Lima looked big for 115.
She looked huge for
Miss weight. How much she missed weight by?
No, I don't even think it was a whole pound, was it?
She came in at 116.
So she was cutting like crazy,
116
and still missed weight. And then when she rehydrated, she bulked up.
Yeah, because she did it. I mean, there was a huge size difference.
Yeah,
and I was like, this don't because who was the one that told us that the Polish was the one to look out
Jens
for?
Pulver.
Jens Pulver.
Jens Pulver had tweeted and recently told was it MMA Radio or something like that? Knockout Radio.
Knockout Radio.
He had done a recent interview with Jens Pulver. Knockout Radio, and he basically said that Jens Pulver said, "This girl, you got to keep an eye on her."
This is the girl to look out for, yeah.
And she did great. She did really good.
Good for her.
Gilbert Burns over Andreas Stahl.
So all in all, you take a good debut for the 115 division.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to watch.
Cool, very cool.
Thiago Trader over Akbar Areola, another unanimous decision. A lot of these fights went to decision.
I see that.
Which some of them are really good fights that I was okay with some decisions. I don't know. Was there one fight that you felt like we didn't really pay attention to?
No.
I mean, they were all pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe the Akbar and Thiago fight I wasn't paying too much attention to. Brian Ortega, though, coming in, going up against Michael De La Torre. Featherweight bout. Brian Ortega taking this in the first round, submission rear naked choke.
That was quick.
Very quick. Brian Ortega is the former RFA champion, correct?
Right.
The guy
he was the one he was supposed to fight Brandao at the Brazil.
And then RFA champion, correct? Yeah.
Right. He was supposed to fight Brandao, and that was supposed to be his UFC debut. And then Brandao backed out, who later went on to be a little bit bigger than all of this.
Yeah. Tim Means going up against Hernani Perpetuo. Tim Means taking the unanimous decision there. Patrick Cummins.
That was a good fight. I like that fight.
It was great.
Tim Means looked great.
Yeah, he did. He looked really good. Patrick Cummins going up against Kyle Kingsbury.
This one shocked me.
It did not shock me at all.
I lost a burrito.
Yeah, you did.
I was surprised. I thought
I'm a little hungry right now. I'm wondering where it's at.
It's right here, smothered in underwear, brother. I told you.
I thought Kingsbury was going to put up a better fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's 2 wins for Cummins after the loss for
Yeah, God damn it, yes, really.
I did too.
Yeah.
I called this from the very
If
beginning.
you would have seen could you tell the size difference on TV?
Maybe not as well as you guys could.
Dude, Kingsbury is enormous.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And he just got handled.
Yeah, he got handled. Again, exactly what I said. Patrick Cummings used his wrestling and just ground and pounded and wrestled him to death and took him down, 15 times?
Yeah.
15 times!
15 times.
Not only that, Patrick Cummings has a long way to go. We know that. I mean,
Right.
he looked like once he got him down, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what kind of ground and pound he was supposed to be using. He didn't know what transition he was supposed to be using to get him in a mount. He kept trying to get like a single guillotine.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah,
that was
just
so
using one arm
irritating.
the whole time. Like, he didn't know
That
how to
was
lock
so
it up. He didn't know how to
frustrating.
move to his back. He didn't know how to transition anywhere. And he even said in the press conference, I have a long ways to go.
Yeah.
I have a lot of training
I
to
kept
do.
leaning over to Dodge. I was like, what is he trying to do? And Dodge's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's
don't-
doing with that arm. What's he doing?
He's trying to do some. He kept trying to do an Americana or maybe an anaconda choke, but he doesn't know how to
Yeah,
finish it.
see?
Yeah.
That's why I went to Dodge. I was like, Dodge, he's like, he could be trying this, that. I'm
exactly
like,
what I was
we
He
need
just
like
couldn't finish
cards.
it. Yeah.
I had my son on the couch with me, and I was like, "What's he doing wrong?" And my son was like, color commentating. He's like, "Well, he's supposed to have his arms like this and like that." I was like, "Yeah, exactly. So pay attention to what you don't do."
Yeah,
Right.
Patrick Cummings, though, unanimous decision over Kyle Kingsbury. Kyle Kingsbury has officially retired now. He says
But he
he's tired
was
of getting
tan.
beat up. He's
So
tired of getting beat
He
up.
was very tan.
He was extremely tan. Extremely tan. Looks like he's been working out and tanning a lot.
He looks different every time he comes in the octagon.
Yeah.
He's working out at Strongman Beach in Venice. So.
One minute he has no facial hair at all. He's completely bald. Then he's got a huge beard. Then he's got a big mustache.
Yeah.
Weird.
He likes changing it up.
Like Keith Haring.
Yeah. So, are you sad to see Kyle Kingsbury go?
I don't even
I
care.
don't care.
I mean,
The peanut
Four-
gallery is
yeah,
pissed,
4
but
losses in a row.
fuck
4
no.
losses in
Get
a
outta here.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about Kyle Kingsbury.
I was just hoping for a better performance, especially when he had all those options to get
Bye-bye,
out,
Pillsbury.
To get out. You know what I mean? To get out of so many holds. I think that's what frustrated me the most about that.
Patrick Cummings is just too big
Yeah.
and too strong, and he was able to use his wrestling to advantage
Yeah.
by pressing in on him. The
Yeah,
whole
but-
time he basically put his knee across him and
Yeah.
just kind of pound on him. He was like, I don't know what to do with
Yeah.
my hands.
We're like 400 feet away, and we could hear him gasping for air and saying, "No, no!" It was bad.
Oh man.
George Masvidal over Darren Cruikshank. This fight surprised me. I thought Darren Cruikshank could put in a little bit more of the spinning shit, as he likes to do.
Right.
But George Masvidal took it to him, man.
Yeah,
Great fight.
This is a great fight.
This is the one we were like, we could have called it a draw, right?
Definitely could have called it a draw.
Everybody in media, we were like, draw. Could you do
Possible
a
draw,
draw,
possible draw.
possible draw?
There were great exchanges. There were great counter punches. It was the whole fight was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you think George Masvidal goes from here?
Up.
Up. He said that he wants to fight Cerrone.
Yeah, and they
At
had,
the press conference.
yeah, and they had kind of slated it a couple days after that. That was the possibility.
Yeah.
I thought I heard something about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants to fight Cerrone. He says that guy's looking for a fight. I could always use a
Well,
fight.
then
That guy
that's-
wants money. I'll take the money.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, they're like, why do you want that fight? He's like, it's nothing personal, and he wants the money, and let's.
I could use the money.
I could use the money.
Yeah.
Be a good fight.
Now, so Masvidal's going to be the one who gets pissed if Alvarez comes over and
Yeah,
just drops
Masvidal
it.
the one that's upset. Now, how do you feel about Masvidal talking shit the whole time in the cage?
Reminds me of the Diaz brothers. I'd like
think-
to see him fight a Diaz brother. You know.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him fight Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate.
I like that it was finally a fighter who admitted I was just trying to get in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
During the
not
press
like
conference,
not like
nothing
everybody else who was
personal.
like, no, I really wasn't. You know, I didn't say this. He's like, I'm just trying to get in his head.
Yeah, if I can get into his head, it helps.
It helps. Yeah, and it does in any sport.
Do you think that comes from his kind of street background?
Probably.
100%.
Yeah. Do you think we need more of that in the sport?
Hell yeah. You need to yell your area code and your city the whole time. Zip code if you can get it.
Too complicated.
209, Stockton, bitch. 209,
Area
Stockton.
code's easy. It's 3 numbers. You're out there like 9535. Ow!
I wasn't done, asshole. Bobby Green going up against Josh Thompson.
God damn. Bobby Green. Wow.
I knew he was going to win just by the come out.
He looked good.
He was rapping to himself.
He
Wow.
was definitely rapping to himself. Josh Thompson.
did not look like the former Strikeforce champion at all.
I thought Josh Thompson did well and possibly got robbed.
Yeah.
I thought
San Jose
this could go
loves
either
him.
way.
Yeah, it definitely thought it could go either way. It was a split decision. He even says, literally, while the split decision is being read, he turns to his corner and goes, I'm getting fucked.
Yeah.
When he heard one score go to Bobby Green, he literally turned to his corner. You can see his screenshot of it. He says, "I'm getting fucked."
I swear to God, when I was watching this fight, I thought it was going to be for Bobby Green.
All for Bobby Green?
Not all. I thought a split was a good call, but I thought Bobby Green did what
Just
he had
enough
to do to win.
Yeah. I will say Bobby Green was the first guy ever to be in the octagon that I've seen that was able to call out his own shots. Be like, "Oh, you got me good. Oh, that missed. That missed. No, you got me.
Yeah,
no, that
what
missed.
was that?
No, judges, he got me on that one. No, judges, he missed on that one."
He's
Like,
just excited to be there.
Yeah.
He's just excited to be there,
Think
man.
about him always putting his hands down.
yeah, towards the end, he's
Yeah,
definitely putting his hands down.
Dodge kept saying that. He's like, he's going to get caught.
I just wanted
Pick
Josh
up your
Thompson.
hands, Bobby. Pick up your hands.
I just wanted Josh Thompson to throw those high kicks that he's known for, and he was not throwing them. I'm like, he's got his hands down, fucking kick him in the head. Could have changed the fight, man. Could have changed the fight. He head kicked Nate Diaz for putting his hands down.
Yeah.
It would have changed the fight big time if he would have done that.
So where do you think either of these guys go? Obviously, Bobby Green going up.
I'm happy for Bobby Green because now Bobby Green he's been on the main card.
Yeah.
He defeat a former champion.
Former champion.
I mean, this guy, it has to move him up in the rankings
Yeah,
quite a bit.
for sure.
He's ready for another tougher test.
All right.
Yeah. Let him fight. Go
No,
Alvarez.
isn't that's the
Whoa.
fight? It's Masvidal.
Dylan Melendez is fighting, Anthony Pettis for a title, sir. I don't think he's ready for
Hey,
it.
look
I
it
think
up.
It was Green against Masvidal.
It is. The next fight is going
Yeah.
to be Green against Masvidal.
So that's where they're both going. Now we know.
Yeah,
they're
now
ready
we
to
know.
go.
Because they're going up.
They both go together.
While you're sitting here talking,
they
I'm
can
like,
both
this
talk
rings a
to each other.
bell.
I know, I remember hearing
This
something.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Up is
It's
where
gonna
they're
be a lot
going.
of talking.
Yeah.
Together. A lot of talking. I'd like
They're going to fight each other.
They need mics
Yeah.
over the cage.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Somebody
pretty
hold the
awesome.
boom over the
Yeah.
cage.
So the last two fights, you want to know where they're going?
Up.
Up.
Dennis Bermudez over Clay Guida
Finishes
submission
Clay Guida.
round.
Oh.
Well, we know Clay
Called
Guida.
it.
Clay Guida gets
This
submitted
hurt
all
my
the time.
soul. This hurt my soul.
Did it?
I called it.
Yeah.
Bermudez, he's been looking good. He's under the radar. People don't really know who he is, but
I thought Guida would do
He's
a
a
little
great
bit better.
fighter.
I thought at least third round.
His hairography was not in effect this time.
No, he was not moving around as much. He did do a nice lap around the cage in between rounds,
Yeah, and
which pissed Bermudez off.
Bermudez yelled at him too when he
Yeah.
went by. He's like, "You know you're hurt," and Guida's like, "Nope."
I'm still running. I'm still running.
win or lose, he
Yeah.
runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife pointed out, and I went back and watched because we recorded it. She's like, "You got to see his face when he's getting choked." And I was like, "Didn't he stick his tongue out or something?" And she's like, "He's gasping for air." Notices that he's on the camera and goes.
Yeah.
So he's like, "I'm about to go out." No, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Cool.
Dennis Bermudez up,
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
no.
going up.
He's staying flat.
He stays
Isn't that
flat.
7-0?
7-0.
Since he lost on the
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
Brandao.
Yeah,
Something
on the show, 7-0. Only guy ever to do that right now was Anderson, right? 7-0, more than that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty amazing.
And I'd say out of all of them, he was the most humble.
Definitely was most humble. Yeah.
Yep.
Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson, we got to see the murder that I was hoping to see in the
Yeah.
cage. Straight up, I asked everybody in press row behind us. I said, "So, how do you feel about getting these live tickets to see a murder in the cage when Anthony Johnson takes out Nogueira?" And they just all laughed and they're like, "Yeah, it's probably going to happen." But Nogueira's Nogueira.
Yeah.
I'm like, "No,
No.
we are here to see a murder. We're here to see a live murder. First round. I'm calling it.
1 minute.
First round." And
You
I said
said-
within 1 minute.
He said within 1 minute, and then
Within-
we're all sitting there,
and
and,
they're
he
like,
goes,
"No."
and he's all 44 seconds, bitches. 44 seconds.
You guys are in media doing this shit?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Enrico Suave, bro, he was with us too. Where's he from? MMA Weekly,
No. He is from Shoot Media.
Shoot Media.
Shoot Media. He was like, "Man, you know your shit."
Yeah.
He's like, "You called that?" He's like, I was like, "Patrick Cummings, 15 takedowns." He's like, "No way!" And then the screen pops up. It's like 15 takedowns. He's like,
Yeah.
"You're good."
That's what I kept telling these guys. I was like, he's a data miner. That's his job is to get all the data. You know?
Yeah, literally. Got to see the murder of Antonio Ruggiero Nogueira
It was
live and in person.
just
44
insane.
seconds. Just
me away.
oh my gosh, he was leaking. He
Yeah.
was leaking.
His head almost ripped off. The second and third uppercut.
Ugh.
It sucks for Anthony Johnson to fight somebody who's not even ranked, basically.
That's we asked him that. He
yeah,
said
no,
he
I
didn't
know
care.
we talked about
it didn't matter.
But now Anthony Johnson's got to get some much tougher
He's pretty
competition.
sure the check's going to clear.
Yeah, he's pretty happy. Anthony Johnson, light heavyweight. Where do you see him go over here?
He's a beast.
Up.
Man.
He's definitely going
yeah.
up. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'd personally like to see him fight Gustafsson when he comes out of being injured. I mean,
Gustafsson
depending
might
on
be too
how.
tough.
Gus to be too tough.
I don't know.
I think it's too soon for you got a guy who's arguably won a
Nogueira-
championship match. and then you got a guy who just beat a top 15.
Yeah, but he didn't leave the UFC because of his fighting. He left because he couldn't make weight.
Because he couldn't make, and he's come back and destroyed Phil Davis, who's ranked number 5.
Yeah.
True.
And he's not dropping 60 pounds to fight.
Right.
And Nogueira did beat Rashad about a year and a half ago.
Right.
Who
No,
is still
we're
considered-
not doing MMA, man.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You gotta take it into consideration.
I just think
You
Johnson's
gotta
a
take it
beast,
into
man.
consideration. Yeah.
All right.
He looked really good against Davis, who is relevant.
Yeah.
Well,
Let him fight Patrick Cummins then.
Wow. That's pretty low, man.
That's fucked
That's
up.
pretty low.
But I'd watch it. Hell yeah, I'd watch it.
Oh, that's low. And
I
then-
think he could get it done before 44 seconds.
I don't know if he needs to fight like the number 1 contender though.
No.
who should
you know.
fight?
who's highly ranked right now in the light heavyweight division?
Because they were just talking about Glover.
I mean, we were talking about he won't fight Rashad.
Yeah, he won't
And
fight-
Rashad's ranked number 2. He refuses to fight him. He said he'll go to heavyweight before he does that.
Yeah, that's his buddy.
Obviously, DC's already got his shot up against the title, and then you have Glover,
They're saying
I think-
Glover's supposed to be fighting Phil Davis next.
Phil Davis next. Yeah.
I didn't realize they cemented him at top 5 already.
Oh, he took 5 when he beat Phil Davis.
Yeah.
That's why we asked him, how do you feel being number 5 going up against somebody who's not even in the top 15?
Yeah, I guess I forgot about that. So I guess he does have to fight someone along that line.
I mean, Gustafson's out on injury. He won't fight Rashad. Glover's already got a fight against Davis. You're going to put him up against Dan Henderson? What does that do for him? What does that do for him?
Nothing.
You're going to put him against
I
Shogun?
don't want to see Dan
Nothing.
Anderson get hurt again.
Right? You're going to put him against Shogun? We're going to see the murder of Shogun.
Yeah.
I love Shogun.
So
but-
I guess you just have to let some things settle.
Ryan
before
Bader?
that.
That's going to be a murder.
Yeah.
that would actually be an interesting fight.
Yeah. I would
Bader?
like. Yeah, I would like to.
Wrestling.
I would like to see.
Bader's going up against OSP right now.
I'm not saying that he should. I'm saying it would be an interesting fight.
Maybe if OSP beats Bader, then that would be a good
Okay,
fight.
I can see that.
Yeah, OSP would be a good fight for him too.
Yeah.
But if he's top 5, I mean, give him whoever.
Give him whoever.
And he said he'll fight whoever.
Yeah, he said he don't care.
He does
Other than
not.
Rashad. Doesn't
Yeah.
care.
and you know what's funny about the Rashad thing is he says he will go up in weight
Yeah.
to let Rashad do what he's got to do in that weight division, and then he'll come back. So he's really confident, like he could actually go up into heavyweight
And compete. Which you
and
did.
compete and
He was
maintain
fighting.
a position long enough to let Rashad fight,
Yeah.
and then come back once Rashad's either worked his way down
He's a
or
big
his
Just
way
did
up.
that at
And
World
he's
Series of
not-
Fighting. He just went in heavyweight and had 2 fights and won.
Beat Arlovsky.
And beat Arlovsky.
Yeah.
Broke
Yeah.
Arlovsky's jaw, who got very upset that we talked about it.
I don't have a glass.
And that's
Yeah.
bullshit.
That's bull. Don't talk about my jaw bullshit, man. He broke my jaw. The ref was asleep. He should have stopped it.
That's one to animate right there. You should have a ref in the corner sleeping.
I'm gonna send it to Lookout a Whale and see what they'll do it for us. Robbie Lawler defeats Matt Brown, unanimous decision. Pretty damn good fight, in my
Good
opinion.
fight.
Very enjoyable.
Although you did text me, I did agree. Rounds 3 and 4 were a little slow,
Yeah.
a
Right.
little slower, but definitely rounds 1, 2, and 5.
Did you check the fight metrics?
Were put on pretty good.
It was close. Punch wise, it was the same. Punch throws to landed.
Did you get the scores sent to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
again,
got
they
all
were
that.
very close each round.
It was a great fight. I think it did show that Robbie Lawler is championship material, and Matt Brown still has more work to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I give it to Matt Brown though, going on a 6-fight win streak in this division and elevating his game to get to where he was at, 6-fight win streak, six of those by TKO. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And he fought a guy who arguably should have won the championship match that he was just in.
For sure. And I believe Robbie Lawler definitely gets.
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves his title shot that he's going to be getting.
And they both landed partial knockouts in the 5th.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
go back and watch, where they both stun each
Yeah.
other to the point, but they're so tired they can't follow through.
So wait, what fight do you think was better, Matt Brown and Robbie Lawler, or the Cerrone fight that just happened?
I would go with.
Those are some amazing fights.
I'm with the Cerrone fight.
You think so?
Yeah, because like you said, the third and the fourth was kind of
Ho
Ho hum. Yeah. What did you guys think about the Phantom Cup check? A lot of people were upset about it. Matt Brown has recently come out and said that's the stupidest fucking thing ever. I would absolutely never fake a cup check.
But we seen it. We were there live. It was nowhere near it.
But Big John, who was in the cage as the ref at the time, said he heard it, and that's why he gave him the time. He knew the shin did slide up, even though it wasn't a direct kick. The shin slid up, and he heard the cup check. That's why he gave him time.
Heard the plastic.
Heard the plastic.
God. These guys recover from nut shots pretty quick.
Yeah.
If I take a flush kick to the balls, man, I
I'll be
think I'm
taking
done.
a full 5 minutes.
Yeah, you get 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
I'd curl up in the fetal position in my corner.
And just rock it out.
Yeah, just rock it out.
It's not a good feeling.
I don't know, man. If you take like a brush to the balls, it still hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude, a fucking light breeze hurts sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely say, you know.
They get scared, they suck up, and you're like,
If you're asking me personally, I couldn't jump around like they do.
Yeah,
and
they're
not,
trying to jump
not
out.
sustain
Back out,
damage.
dude.
Yeah.
So the next event was supposed to be this weekend, but it has been postponed. We have now 2 events that have been canceled / postponed. I like how they said that this one's not canceled, it's postponed. They just made all the other fights move to other areas.
UFC 176 already happened.
Yeah, already. That, again, conspiracy theory. It already happened. It was in the movie Here Comes the Boom. That's why they couldn't use it.
It's going to become the 13th floor of every hotel.
Yeah.
It's not there.
It's not there. So the next fight will
Dun, dun,
not be
dun.
until August 16th, which we will cover that week. UFC Fight Night, Beta versus St. Peru. That's it. That's what we got
Cool.
for today.
That's it then.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. What a wonderful day. All right, that wraps up another installment of Split Decision. Thanks for listening, of course. Tell your friends. Share us wherever you can. Share the Spreaker, the Stitcher, the SoundCloud. Tell people about the iTunes. Subscribe there. You won't miss an episode. You just get updated every time. Our official website is splitdecisionmma.com. Find us on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Instagram, SD_MMA. From the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios, it is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.